Create that life, legacy designers. Amber Prosia here. Welcome to episode number 7 of the Parenting Biz podcast, coming to you every single Monday. Now let's chat with this week's featured guest, Isabel Wetten. Isabel, are you ready to model us on your journey of how you design the life you've always wanted for yourself and your family?
I'm very, very much excited and I'm ready to go.
Awesome. Love to hear it. Isabel is a qualified personal fashion stylist, and she changes people's lives one outfit at a time. She studied personal styling with Cindy Newstead, who's a woman who has been in the fashion styling business for over 25 years, at the Personal Styling Academy based in Melbourne. Isabel has worked for the Brisbane Fashion Weekend as a front of house coordinator and at the Virgin Australia Melbourne Fashion Festival, working with some of Australia's top labels like Furley, Trivago, and Camellia. And if I pronounce any of those wrong, please let me know, Isabel, too.
That's okay.
Her business started with, of course, no real clients, no website, no business cards, no brand, and all she did was sort out wardrobes and help people shop. In her experience, being well presented equals to being well received, and it opens up so many opportunities, and this is what she wants for you. Nowadays, her business offers 6 services which her clients rave about. On top of that, she runs styling workshops, plus has one-on-one style consultations as well. In her styling sessions, she will show you that you don't need to follow rules of how you should be, rather show you how you can be. She has put together a styling experience that will change how you feel about yourself and about the real world. You will be able to get out that door and face the world feeling and looking amazing. Isabel, it's our honor to have you on our show today. Please take a minute and fill any gaps from that intro and give us a little glimpse of your own personal life.
Thanks for that, Amber. And thank you for the opportunity to speak to you and to your listeners as well. Well, a lot has been happening in the past few months with my business. It has grown into a mammoth of a thing. As you know, as business owners, we try to reinvent a wheel that's working because we want it to be better and better. So you mentioned that I offer 6 services. I've actually turned that into a school.
Amazing. Oh, that's
Yep.
awesome. Yeah, please tell us about this.
Just on the side there. So I have built Miss Bella Bella Academy of Style. So the essence of that, I'm not teaching you to be stylist, but I'm teaching you how to brand yourself. So basically the concept is every single business owner has their own brand. The business has a brand, and we tie that up so that you walk around representing your brand the best way possible, and that's looking the part, which brings out confidence, which brings out cohesiveness online, offline, and just being that that walking billboard that you're supposed to be for your business. So in line with that, I start with a workshop. Of course, I have to introduce styling to every single person, the basics of it, the fundamentals of styling, like body shape, everything like that. And then when they sign up, of course, we start with a wardrobe edit where I eliminate the ones that don't work for you. And in that session, I basically teach you why. Why didn't this work for you? Why is this working for you? And we'll find out the gaps. And once we've done that, the exciting part comes after, which is we'll go on a whirlwind of a shop. So we'll go shopping, and those ones on telly that they go shopping bags everywhere. It looks like that, but I've built that to tailor to what you need, which is the most important thing. It's tailored to yourself and to your business and to your lifestyle. So it's exciting. It's fun. Who doesn't? There are people that don't like shopping, but come on, it's it's a girls' day out thing.
Yeah, no, I love it.
It has been amazing, and the product itself, I'm so proud to say that nothing like that exists in Brisbane. I'm the only one that does it.
Fantastic. Well, Isabel, thank you so much for sharing all that with us and for being on the show today, because, I actually hope that my partner doesn't hear this episode, because he's going to be like, please hire her. You need a wardrobe change, especially with maternity clothes. I'm really struggling with finding stuff. But yet it's so amazing to have you on the show, so thank you so much. Just as you know, our listeners are
Mhm.
parents or parents to be
Yeah.
that realize ownership is key to not only
Yeah.
to our parenting or business but in life in general, and along that parenting journey we can lose sight of that.
Yeah.
However, if we focus on life as a game or a sport or an activity, not only can we
Mhm.
learn to let go easier, but we can also gain strength from our mistakes and
Yeah.
design our core focus be one of laughter, joy, and most importantly, having fun. Just like a 5-year-old kid in the sandbox.
Oh yes.
Yes. So this week, our entire interview will be crafted around the first game of the NBA season called Bank
Mhm.
Shots and Styling.
Yeah.
There's there's 4 quarters in a basketball game, so we'll
Yep.
break down this interview going through the activities within the quarters. If you're
Yep.
wondering what a bank shot is, it's when a player shoots the ball and it bounces off the backboard and into the hoop,
Mhm.
aka net. So this is crucial for life because we have to take the shot to see and know if we'll ever go in.
Yeah.
So now you're all aware this is just an analogy and we can create and design our lives in any way we want. And there's no better
Yeah.
person than Isabel to teach us not only how to take the shot, but to look good
Yeah.
taking
Yeah.
the shot. So
Yeah.
let's get into it. What do you say?
Yes.
Awesome. So the first section obviously is the first quarter, and we're going to do
Yep.
a tip off. And this is where the games begin.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Isabel, as a player on the court, just like in the real world, you're wanting to stand out. How do you recommend someone to stand out with their fashion?
So, as we're using basketball as an analogy here, before a game starts, everyone stands in the middle of the court. Two players obviously stand in the center circle and do their best to tap that ball to their teammates. So, to stand out in business, you need to be ready. You need to find that point of difference to make sure that when you hit that ball, it taps into your court. You want to be able to stand out and use that power, not to just lure everyone, but to show everyone that, yeah, this is why you're going to work with me.
Mm-hmm. And what if we're not sure what makes us great? Like, what if we're not sure what makes us stand out? What would you recommend?
There's always, there's always self doubt. I
Mm-hmm.
have that as well. But you keep going. You keep playing. You keep playing that game because you don't know when you're going to find out, what moment it is. Like, I've had this, Amber, like so many times. Like, am I good at this? I might just
Mm-hmm.
be good at styling, but not good at teaching. Self
Mm.
doubt. But I kept going. I've only been in business for like 18 months.
And you're doing
I,
amazing.
I had a corporate, I was still in my corporate job 7 months ago,
Yeah.
full time. And I kept going though. And, you say like, oh, what if it doesn't go in my court? What if I don't play well? What if, I don't do the best offense? What if I don't do the best defense? Well, you still keep playing. You're still in the team. No one's kicked you out unless you kick yourself out. But you keep playing.
Absolutely. And you know what? That question, when you started asking all those what ifs,
Yeah,
I really, it was probably a couple of years ago with my business coach. But honestly, that start of a sentence or that start of a question to yourself, of what if
yeah,
this happens and what if that, he like openly told me you have to eliminate it. He's like,
yeah.
that's all just doubt, negativity. You have no control of it. You have no idea. So I actually never even ask myself those questions at all. It's
Mm,
literally, what's the worst case scenario? What's the
yeah,
worst can happen, right? Okay, we don't win the tip off, right? We
yeah,
don't win one of the fashion shows, whatever it might be.
mm,
Okay, but we can keep going,
yeah,
right? Just like you said, and
yeah,
that's the worst case scenario. So
yeah.
it is actually mind over matter. And if
Oh,
you
yeah,
have that
yeah,
fear or that doubt, just start
yeah.
diving into some personal development. Tony Robbins is amazing at that. And there's a
Oh,
lot of
yeah,
other
yeah. There's a
coaches
lot of
out there too.
podcasts there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have this practice now that instead of listening to 5 songs, I'll listen to a good podcast that would, I listen to some of them the same over and over again,
Mm-hmm.
but it would give me kind of like that boost
Absolutely.
for that day because you lessons are not only learned in classrooms.
Mm-hmm.
It's out here, and we listen to people that have actually done it and are doing it and have succeeded, but they still keep playing.
Absolutely. That's the biggest thing for anyone that's
Yeah.
successful, is that they just keep going. So I
Keep
love
going.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. And when you even said, when you're outside playing, we could hear the birds. It was so lovely. So good that they knew when to chirp in.
Yeah.
Perfect. So the next section is called free throws, which
Yep.
are rewards do happen.
Yep.
Okay. Just like a game, we get free throws. So even
Yes.
if we have to give them to ourselves, when of
Mm.
course, they're worth rewarding ourselves. We don't want to just
Yep.
obviously pamper ourselves and not have done anything. But
Yes.
just like in basketball, if the other team fouls us, we get rewarded
Yep.
for three throws.
Free throws.
So,
Yeah.
how important is celebrating along your entrepreneur journey, and what things do you do to celebrate your success?
Yeah. Um, I also want, on that note, um, there's always going to be fouls.
Mm-hmm.
You have the ball in your hand and someone taps it. It's always going to happen. But then you go on the other side of that and win something. You really, really, really need to celebrate that. Do your happy dance, or get yourself a drink, or get a big feed. Just celebrate it because you worked on it. It's your victory. So do whatever you want, really. We prepare ourselves for a free throw. We stand there and kind of like zone in, and like, yep, it's gonna go in. I'm gonna tap that board, and it's gonna go in. And in every win for every business, you really have to do it. That reward motivates you. It motivates me
Absolutely.
so much.
And especially when you're starting out. A
Yeah.
lot of people forget that, and we just put our head down. And
Mm,
to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the word hustle, but
mm,
even if it's grinding or hard work or just effort
yeah.
nonstop, day in, day out, but
Yeah.
we have to take that step back. We got to also remember about fulfillment in life, and
Yeah.
why are we doing this?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what are some action steps that you did to make that happen for you and your family, especially starting out and having a transition of the full-time job into
Yeah.
entrepreneurship? Yeah, what did you do?
Yeah. So I I had to do a, like, not necessarily like, oh, I'm gonna step back full on, but I eased myself into the business. It was running for about almost a year before I quit my full time job.
Mm-hmm.
And that easing myself into it, I think, kind of like made it an easy transition.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, like, business is difficult. Business is hard. The hustle, the daily grind, the all that. It is hard work, and but it feels so good though, Emma.
Yeah, definitely.
It feels amazing to be able to do what you do, to be able to reward yourself when you do a good thing.
Mm-hmm. And do you find that you actually integrate that success with your children? Because, that's something that I'm going to plan on doing, obviously, when we
Yeah,
have kids, but is to incorporate them and be like, you
yeah,
know what, when mom gets this done, let's go to like the greatest indoor playground,
yeah,
because obviously I'm going to love
yeah,
that too. And it's going to be a
yeah.
huge reward for myself, but it'll be a reward for both of us. And then,
Yes.
our child will know, or children know, that, okay, Amber, mom has to be set aside for this amount of time, but
Mm.
then I get to have this treat after. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
great.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 5-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old Jack Russell. So they're my children. But my 5-year-old, I don't know how I got so lucky, but this little girl understands what I do. Um, she knows that mommy works in fashion. She knows that mommy has clients that I take shopping, and she knows that I put fashion shows together. I came home one day last week, and then she drew this, um, like these like stick figures, but with clothes, of course, of
Yes.
3 models and me. And
Oh,
she goes, "Oh, this, mommy, these are models, and they're coming to see you."
beautiful.
Like, and then I tell her, this is what I do, and I take her to shoots sometimes, make her
Amazing.
work a little bit,
Yep.
so that she understands that if I'm away, this is what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. And that incorporation is so key. And children do know. You know, it doesn't matter what the age is, they're watching and they're such
Yes.
the greatest observers. So
Yeah.
why not include them? And
Yeah.
I love that you brought her, brought her in. Yeah, work a little
Yeah.
bit. Why
And
not start?
she's now telling me, like, before we leave the house, is that what you're gonna wear?
Oh, so cute.
Yeah. Yeah. She's getting there at 5. Is that what you're gonna wear, Mom? There's the self doubt again.
Oh, so true. Then that's where, you know what, also, actually, a previous guest was on the show, and I'm not going to share with whom, but
Mm.
um, that actually happened to her when she was younger as well. And her daughter kept asking her, why, mom, are you wearing, these bright colors and, why can't you be like the other moms? And then she actually just stood her ground and been like, no, because this is me. This is who
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
And actually, later on in her daughter's life, she actually
Mm.
came back and she was like, Mom, I'm so grateful that you're who you are.
Yeah.
And that you did, that you are unique and you are yourself and you're authentic. And I thought that was huge because it also was teaching her daughter the sense of empowerment and that you don't have to follow, the status quo or other people. You can be your unique self. And it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you want to dress up or dress down, however you want, but it's your
Yeah.
choice. And I think
It's
that's
your
really
choice. Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I have to ask Isabel, how did you get those amazing opportunities, such as working with the Virgin Australia Melbourne Fashion Festival? How'd those happen?
Um. Well, they put an ad up every year, and basically I just answered it, did an interview, and somehow maybe I said something right,
Yeah, amazing.
and yeah, and worked with top designers, met designers there, just surrounded by you know top end fashion for a week or day in day out. It was just beautiful work, beautiful dresses, the show. But I think what I love most about fashion shows, it's not just the clothes, it's the logistics behind it.
Mm. There's a
There's
lot
a
to
lot.
them.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of planning, but I've never seen one. Always at the back.
Yeah.
Never seen my show, but that's fine.
Hmm.
I see them walk out, and that's about it. But the logistics behind it, from the set to the like designers coming in and out, work, alterations, things like that, coordinating models, everything. I think that's what I crave for.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that
Yeah,
you actually said that you saw an ad because those are exactly like free throws. We sometimes have to look for
yeah,
them ourselves,
yeah, yeah.
and
Gotta grab that.
yeah, exactly. So what are some other ways that, if someone's starting out in fashion or
Yeah,
just even to
yeah.
brand themselves as an entrepreneur and there's, what are some tips of where you do look for free throws or opportunities to occur?
With on the styling side of things, I have been speaking to a bunch of stylists here in Brisbane, asking me, "Oh my gosh, you've come so far! Like, how did you, what did you do to get there?"
Mm-hmm.
I surrounded myself with people that are actually in that space already. I
Amazing.
went to events, I talked to people, asked them how, and then they said, "Oh, you should do this, you should try this, try that." Tried it. You try. If it doesn't work, just don't go back.
Mm-hmm.
And kept going and kept going.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
for an entrepreneur, when you start out, like, it is scary. You'll be like, "Oh my God, what am I doing? Is this the right thing?" But if you feel deep down in your heart that you have something that would contribute to society, contribute to the world, change lives, and just do it, because you're gonna be so selfish if you don't.
Absolutely. Have you heard of the lady Mel Robinson? She does the 5 second rule.
The 5 second rule, you said?
Yes.
A little bit, but haven't really gone
Yeah. So
into all of that.
so it was really interesting because she's huge into science and psychological and physiological aspects of our body of what happens, and
Mm.
fear and excitement are actually the exact same
Yeah,
physiology. What
yeah,
happens, sweating armpits, nervous in the stomach, we get clench
yeah,
clench feelings. But as long as we take that fear of, how you said about it's scary, but if you turn that into excitement and see like what can happen and know the end
mm.
goal of why you're doing it,
Yeah,
then you can enjoy the ride
yeah,
rather than being fearful the whole time.
yeah. Oh gosh, you need to get on the other side of fear, because you'll be stuck where you are if you're just afraid all the time.
Absolutely. So let's move into passing and dribbling because
Yep.
it's called "Gotta Keep Moving," which is what
Yep.
we're on right now. And I know
Mm-hmm.
you've touched down just quickly on how that you were working your full time job and transitioned into an entrepreneur. So did you have your daughter while you were working your full time
Yep.
job? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And and then how did you find that transition from a full-time job into the start of your business to then the
Yep.
transition to now full-time into entrepreneurship with your daughter? How does that affect it?
Um, when I was doing the full-time job thing, she was in childcare, so drop her off, pick her up after that routine. And now she's in big school. It's the same thing. It's basically the same cycle, like drop him off, pick him up thing.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of me being a mom towards her, like how I act towards her, I
Mm-hmm.
think I'm much more happier now,
Mm.
and I could share more. Like I can, I share what I do with passion to her. She
Yeah,
sees that because before with a corporate job, yeah, I could do it. I was doing it, but then she couldn't see that I was happy with it.
right. Really does
And
affect us.
yeah, totally.
Absolutely. So along your business career, did you ever feel like you were traveling? And I mean the term traveling from basketball. So if people aren't sure what that means, traveling is a foul in basketball, and this happens when you take too many steps without
Yeah,
dribbling the ball. So, for
yeah.
example, you take them 3
Three,
steps or more. Yeah. So, did you ever feel like
three
that?
up. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you ever feel like you were traveling in regards with family and entrepreneur lifestyle with that? And if so,
Yeah, yeah.
how'd you overcome it?
So with the entrepreneurship, you keep going, but then sometimes you're not going the right direction. You don't notice it, so
Yeah.
you keep going, and then you've traveled way too much there. Referee calls a foul. You need to stop. Game stops. You
Mm-hmm.
have like I've seen that in me so many times, and you have your breakdowns and everything like that. You just kind of like regroup,
Mm-hmm.
regroup yourself. I know how silly does that sound, but
No, it doesn't. It's important.
regroup yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and then keep going again.
Yeah. And regrouping is actually really, really important. And just a check in,
Yeah,
even if you don't realize that you're off track, but if you had the regular check ins with yourself, that you could always be, you wouldn't have to be worrying about traveling because you're
yeah,
looking at those aspects and checking in.
yeah,
Absolutely. Okay, cool. Well, let's go into overtime. And
yeah,
overtime's all about never giving up because it really does matter, right?
yeah.
So when the time is up and if the score is tied, the teams must go into overtime to determine a winner. As a mother, how do you manage your business and run the family at the same time, especially when you're exhausted?
Who's not exhausted? Um, really, tell me. So you kind of like you set yourself a time and say, okay, I'm just going to be working until a certain time, so you could fulfill the other things that you have to do. So just keep on that.
Mm-hmm. So this kind of goes in together with what you just asked, where you just answered there.
Mm.
And it mentions actually how you just changed into the transition of your services in your business, and now you're creating a school, which
Yeah.
is amazing. I think that's fantastic. How did you find the time, the strength, and the creativity to launch a new service, or in this case, a school, while keeping yourself sane?
Are you sure I'm saying?
No, no, no possibility
No,
there.
no.
Just joking. Of
Um,
course, you're sane. But how did
so
you manage that?
I really don't know. So launching that, and last week launched another one. So I don't really know.
Well,
It just happens like that.
do you have a team? Do you feel
Mm.
like you're not on your own, or are you actually doing this 100% on your own?
So with the academy, I have me and of course have a VA to do all the other things that I don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And for other things, I have a business partner for that.
Fantastic. Okay,
Yeah.
good. So you're starting to build a team as
Yeah.
well. So it's not
Yeah.
just you on your own. And I think that's what a lot of people forget about. We as entrepreneurs, we
Yeah.
tend to think that we have to do it all on our own, and it's the last thing we got to do.
Yeah.
We have to, like you said, find your strengths and the things that you
Yeah.
don't like to do,
Yeah.
pawn them off to someone else that actually does
Oh
love
yeah.
doing them and is better,
Yeah.
probably better at them. That's
Yeah.
what I feel.
Yeah. Don't really want to do everything.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, cool. So we're wrapping up the game, and this is a little fun round. It's called a 24-hour or 24-second shot clock, because that's
Yep.
all we have as possession anyways in
Yes.
the game. So I'm going to say one word, and I want you to say the first word that comes to your mind when hearing it. So you get
Okay.
to share your words of wisdom with us. Are you ready?
Yep.
Awesome. Laughter.
Happiness.
Grandkids.
Fulfillment.
Food.
Yummy.
Walking.
Break.
Beach.
Sand.
Faith.
Strong.
Ego.
Bigger.
Trust.
Always.
Feet.
What is it?
Feet.
Stability.
Nutrition.
Important.
Sex.
Very important.
Systems.
Very, very important.
Marketing.
Essential.
Delegating.
A must.
Fear.
Don't worry about it.
Wisdom.
Learn it.
Health.
Yours.
Horses.
They run away.
Shoes.
In my wardrobe.
Chocolate.
Can't get enough.
Water.
Always have it.
And ice cream.
Give them all to me.
Yeah, love it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. You're phenomenal. And I'm sure our listeners are wondering how the heck can they get in touch with you and also be part of your school, your academy.
Yes.
So please let us know how, and I'll put all the details in the show notes. So please share with us how can we get in touch.
So obviously Facebook's the best, connector, Amber. And you just look me up, and all the details of promotions, events, and whatever the hell I'm doing these days are on there. And Instagram as well. So yeah, just go onto the page, to the Facebook page, and all links are there.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Isabel. Isabel, I really appreciate it. It's so amazing to have you on here. Is there any final words you'd like to say to our audience?
Don't worry, just buy the shoes.
I love that. Perfect.
I know.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, listeners. Thank you so much, Isabel, for coming on the show. We'll have a next episode with you guys next week. And guess what? We are now on iTunes. You can get us and on YouTube and on Podbean, as well as Stitcher. So make sure you guys do subscribe to our channels, like us, follow us, and you can always get an updated episode on our Facebook Messenger app as well. It's directly sent to you. So thanks so much, guys, and have a great week. Bye.
Bye.